Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Astros Baseball here on this Sunday afternoon. My special guest today, I call him friend. He is the Spanish broadcaster for the Astros, 18 seasons now, over 2,000 games. That's got to be, I think, buddy, you have the job that probably millions of people would like to have. Francisco Romero, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure. But all I can say is I've been blessed to be in this position. I mean, it's wasn't easy to get here, but it was fun. The
Yeah.
journey was enjoyable. So glad to be here with you.
So when I listen to y'all on the radio, and even the English guys, y'all take turns, right? You go. It's not like the TV. One of y'all does play by play, and then the other guy does the middle three, and then so you start it out, and then you close it out, right?
Yes, I do the first three innings, and Alex does play by play, 4, 5, and 6, and then I close it out. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's how it goes.
All right. So usually, you're calling games till November, talking about these big home runs in the postseason, but first, let's talk about the season. We discussed it all year, and we tried to tell everybody stay positive. They're too talented to not get out of this. Crazy as Kyle Tucker went out with that crazy injury, and then they started playing better. They win the division, and then they just get steamrolled by Detroit.
Now it was a different kind of season, but at the same time, it was the same kind of thing because the Astros still won. We still won the division, and like you said, the talent is there. The talent was there. That first month really didn't go as it should have, or as we would have liked to. But after playing in Mexico City, the team was just performing to what we know it could do. So it was a little bit different, but still, like you said, we enjoyed the games, the wins, the talent, and getting to the postseason. It was a short postseason, but still,
Yeah,
it was a great season. I mean, some guys did great, and so it's baseball. That's why I tell people it's baseball. It's never going to be the same. If you expect the same thing, then it's not fun.
yeah. That's what I was telling people. Even if we don't go as far as we usually do, I mean, they're not going to go to the ALCS every year until we all die. I mean, eventually somebody else is going to have to get there.
But you know what? It's been an amazing run. Think about
It
it. How
has.
many teams have done what the Astros have done? Very few. I think the last one was what? Maybe the Yankees of the late early 2000s
Yeah.
and Braves, and then who
Yeah.
else did it before that? So I think we need to appreciate what we're going through because it's still a good team, and it's still gonna we're still gonna have a lot of wins and go deep into the playoffs next season. So we have to enjoy it, enjoy the games, enjoy the players. I mean,
Yeah.
not that we have to be positive because that's the way the team is built.
Yeah. I think there's still a lot of talent on the team. We lost some. I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure if it
Yes,
was yesterday or the day before because when you're working night shift, the days blend in together. But Kyle Tucker gets traded to the Cubs. And this is something that the Astros have had to deal with. Uh, you know, George Springer, Correa, Bregman. It's just they don't trade them in their last year because they're always in the thick of it. What do you think the difference is on Kyle Tucker? Do you think it just has something to do with him being one of the best outfielders in baseball? This contract Soto got, like, what do you think the difference is that they let Kyle Tucker go, but none of these other guys?
you know what? I think it's a combination of the elements that you just mentioned. But Kyle Tucker is an amazing player. He's gonna get a great contract. He's gonna do very well wherever he goes. So first of all, I want to say thanks to Kyle Tucker for always being there when we asked him for an interview. And Kyle Tucker's Hispanic. Did you know that?
No,
His mom is from Spain.
really?
Yes. So
Does he
once
speak
I was
Spanish?
she speaks very good Spanish. I mean, he
Wow.
grew up out in Tampa, and so maybe third generation. So he just spoke English, but he was very proud of his heritage. He told me that his mom would save all the documents like birth certificates from his family, so you know, so they could have him. But they're from Spain, exactly. So Kyle
Wow.
Tucker, I asked him once, so do you speak Spanish with the guys? You know, he goes, I don't, but my mom does. So that was pretty cool, and he was open to it. And so,
Yeah.
like I said, thanks to Kyle Tucker for always being there when we asked him to. And he's a great player. He's a great person. He's a great human being. And yeah, the trade happened. It's part of the business of baseball. We got some good players too. Isaac
Yeah.
Paredes and the pitcher from Houston and the prospect. Right away, he became what, the number one or two Astros prospect in the list. So
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of the top two.
I think he's rated top one or two prospect for the Astros right away. So it's not like we didn't get anything. We got great players. Now, but it is a very interesting character because he has power and that left field. I mean, he is savoring that the Crawford boxes, and so he can
Yeah.
play third. He can play first, and he was actually, I think, a shortstop with the Cubs way back when they first signed him out of Mexico, and so but obviously now he plays third and first, and so and then the pitcher, he was with the Cubs. I think reliever, a starter, and I think the Astros are going to have him as a starter. I can't pronounce his name yet, but it should be very interesting to see him as a starter. And of course,
Yeah.
we talked about the prospect, and he should be. If not this season, probably next season. He was a great college player. He had a first amazing season in the minors, and so
Yeah.
we should expect good things. And again, the Astros will still keep being competitive. The Astros will still be in contention for the West. So that's how I see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people online that's upset. We gave a star away for nobody, but I try to tell them this guy had 19 home runs and 80 RBIs last year. I mean, that's some production, and I've seen some videos online of him playing third base.
Yes,
If that's how he plays all the time, this guy's a stud. And then what does that say about Bregman though? We might get to that later, but he can play everywhere. So the door isn't shut on Bregman.
but let's think about this. He can play first base, so Bregman
Yeah,
can play
and we
third.
need a first baseman. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, so, the other guy, I'm gonna try it, Hayden Wesneski,
Yeah, I have to learn how to pronounce his name. Huh?
a native Houstonian, so back home to
He was talking
Houston.
about in the press conference yesterday about how he was. He still remembers the center field hill. And so he's been a fan for a long time, of course, but
Yeah,
he talked about remembering the 2017 World Series, and so it's great, especially a hometown kid who's going to play
yeah.
for the Astros. I think it should be pretty neat.
That's gotta be nuts to be a kid growing up in Houston, going to Astro games, and just dreaming of playing for them, and then you get drafted by the Cubs, and you're just thinking, "Well, probably never gonna play for the Astros," and now you're there. It's gotta be amazing, and then all of his family's gonna be able to go to the games. It's a pretty awesome thing.
Michael Bourne, remember Michael Bourne?
Yeah,
He went to U of H. He's from Houston. That happened to him. He was with the Phillies, but then he got traded to the Astros. Uh-huh.
yeah. It happened to the other guy we had, the one that came up and did really good, and I played somewhere else. I can't think
Oh
of
yeah,
his name.
Corey Jokes.
Yeah, Corey Julks, yeah.
Exactly.
Um, this guy, he pitched 68 games in 3 years, and he had 22 starts, so you said he's gonna be a starter?
Exactly. They have him as a starter.
Alright. And then the Cubs' number 7 prospect, Cam Smith. I think it might have been you a long time ago that told me this, like, Carlos Correa does not look big, but in real life, he's a big human, right?
Okay,
This Cam
Correa,
this
6'4".
this Cam Smith dude looks bigger. He's a big dude.
He's very well groomed. I mean, he did very well in college, and last year he had an amazing season. So he's been talked about a lot. So we
Yeah,
should be excited to see him grow as a player, as we have seen. As we saw Tucker. Tucker was we had a first row seat to watch him develop as
yeah,
a major league player. So we should be excited about this new young guy.
yeah. Kyle Tucker, I'll tell you a little quick story, and then I'll stop.
Uh huh.
But I went to, the Mission Stadium here in San Antonio when he played for. It wasn't Sugarland; it was the team before that.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Round Rock,
I think Round Rock or
the Express, and he was one of the three people I got to interview. So I talked to a couple of guys, and the guys like Kyle Tucker's coming out, and I was nervous. I was a nervous wreck to talk to Kyle Tucker, and I didn't do good, but at least I got to experience that. But
and his brother played for the Astros, Preston Tucker.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah, that's what I asked him about. Like he was going to get to play with him, but he got traded. But this dude drafted number 14 in the 2024 draft. This was his first season as a major leaguer. He hit 313, 396 on base percentage, 609 slugging, 7 homers, 5 doubles. He's got to have some wheels, 4 triples, and 24 RBIs. He played 5 games in Double-A, so he went 3 levels in 1 year. So I'll be making the trip to Corpus because I need to go watch this kid.
Yeah, he's an exciting player.
All right, so I just read this. Astros GM Dana Brown. This was from my notes the other day, but he was talking about they're considering trading Tucker and Framber, and so they pulled the trigger on one, and then the other one. So Framber's kind of in the same boat. He's a no hitter, Cy Young kind of pitcher, and he's gonna get a lot of money next year. So I mean, this could happen too.
Well, I love Framber. I love Framber. He's been amazing to us. We've seen him grow in many ways, not only as a ball player but as a person. And so Framber is very good. He deserves to get paid, and so
Yeah,
uh, yeah. So Dana was talking yesterday about not that he's not going to get traded, but I guess he's all ears in,
yeah,
uh, in that. But Framber's a good player too. No, I
yeah.
mean, very an excellent player.
I mean, somebody could offer him something he couldn't refuse, but I think with Javier and Luis Garcia, we lost Urquidy. I, I mean, if we're gonna try to win next year, I think we need Framber. So I don't like the thought about trading him at all.
Now Framber and Hunter Brown should be a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
He's coming
you
to
know
some.
the thing about Tucker, I think I said this earlier, right? Like he got hurt, and that's when we played good. So, but we wouldn't have been able to do it. You know who was like my MVP of the year?
Who was that?
It was the other guy, Ronel Blanco.
Oh, Blanco, yeah.
Oh man, what?
Blanco's yeah, Blanco's and I talked about the 1-2 punch of Framber and Hunter Brown, but Romel Blanco is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter Brown's great. Spencer Arrigetti's great. But without Framber, you only got 4 until Javier comes back. So I don't see him getting rid of him.
Now it should be good. So let's not speculate yet, but
No, I will not speculate. I'm just saying I don't see it coming. So, like I said earlier, the Astros are still in the running to sign Bregman, and this was as early as yesterday. And we already mentioned it. Paredes can play first, and we need. I mean, a lot of fans want them to address the first base job as well. So this would do it.
yes, Paredes is very can play various positions, and first base is one of them. But yeah, the Astros should still be competitive, and we'll see what happens from here on. But it's exciting to think about what Paredes can do to that
Yeah,
Crawford boxes.
he's from Mexico, right? He was in the World Baseball
Hermosillo,
Classic.
yeah, he's from Hermosillo. He's very close to my hometown, Nogales, and
Nice.
uh, he was playing yesterday with Naranjeros in winter ball. During
Wow.
the press conference, he was at the stadium in Hermosillo. Huh? So he goes from one H to the other H, from one H town to the other H town. And
You know, I
the
had.
colors are similar. They're black
Yeah,
and orange, or sometimes they wear blue, but it's black and orange, but very
wow.
similar designs.
I don't know how these people make these pictures, but someone posted a picture of Tucker in a Cubs uniform, and he said he's happy to be. I mean, no one's going to say they're not happy, but I think I believe him. I mean, I would love to play for the Cubs. It's a historical team, so that's what it said.
It's
He's
major league.
ecstatic to be there.
It's Major League Baseball, and he's one of the best players
Yeah.
in the world. So he's gonna fit in anywhere he goes. Exactly.
All right. So Juan Soto got this ridiculous contract. I mean, I thought when they were giving people $350 million, it was ruining things and making things a little uneven. This dude got 15 years, $765 million. The guy almost got $1 billion.
That's a lot of money, man. I
It's a
regret not.
lot of money.
I regret not listening to my dad and and every day going for ground balls and and
Yeah,
batting. It's an amazing contract. I mean, if the market calls for it, he didn't sign with the Nationals as I mean, it said that he was offered what $400 million a few years ago, and he bet on himself. He did very
he
well.
did.
Last year, he was an amazing player, but yeah, it's a lot of money now. A lot
He's
of
only
money.
25.
25, 26, yes. He's
Yeah.
very young.
And so the reason I bring that up is because the Astros offered Alex Bregman 6 years, 156 million. Unless I wrote that down wrong. And I wonder what I wonder. I mean, like they would still have to negotiate, right? He's just
Of course, yes, yes, yes.
they're not. He can't. I mean, after we make moves, they're like, yeah, I'll take it. But I mean, like his 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 agent wanted like 11 years and 350 million. So is that bad news for the Astros that somebody paid Soto so much?
Well, I don't know if to say bad news for the Astros or for the whole, or for Major League Baseball for the whole team. I really couldn't say or talk about that because and I don't like to get into those conversations because that's not my job. We
Yeah,
could always talk about it, or I mean think about it. But for Soto, it's a huge contract. Now, different players have different situations, and it's the art of negotiating.
yeah.
So we'll see how.
I was just thinking like with the contract Soto got, maybe there's more money than the Astros offer, but hopefully he comes back. I know everybody wants him back. I got my Bregman jersey on right now. I'm not giving up on him. I mean, him in third and Paredes at first. Man,
I can imagine that.
we're
That
looking a
that would
lot
be
better.
amazing. And so, yeah, Bregman has always been good to us too. He's a great human being. The team that I mean the Astros, the players for the last few years, they've been very special. Whoever comes uh, fits into the mold of what they're trying to do. They do, and it's just amazing to be around those players. And so that's why sometimes when they don't sign or they leave or they get traded, you get that feeling, that sentiment of closeness to those players. So it's an amazing organization, an amazing team, and the players play very hard for the team.
So I had read something that Dana said that Jordan was going to play a lot of more DH this year, even though he's really good in the field, and that Jake would be the center fielder and Chaz is going to be the right fielder. But I just don't feel like that the Astros are done. I really feel like they're going to go out and get another outfielder.
Well, the Astros have always surprised us for years,
Yeah,
and so Jim Crane's very active. Well, we love our owner, and he's
yeah,
all into winning. I mean, look what they've done the last few years, the last
yeah,
10, 12 years, and so yes, they may not be done, but yeah, in terms of taking advantage of Alvarez, you want to save his knees a little bit.
oh yeah,
So that power is there. I mean, Alvarez. I think talking about Tucker, talk about Alvarez and the value he has, and not only for the
yeah,
Astros, but for Major League, for the American League. He's, he's a monster out there.
yeah. People pitch around him.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. They'll walk him with two guys on him. That's how good he is.
Just think about what he did. Game 6 of the World Series against the Phillies.
Yeah, that was
It's,
amazing.
you can never forget that one. So you go in.
Imagine if the Crawford boxes were in right field.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I think
That
Paredes going to drop a lot of home runs in that. You know what I read that I guess he struggled when because he got traded to Chicago, I believe, from Tampa Bay, and he hit 333 outside of Wrigley, but he struggled in Wrigley Park for some reason. So
he talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
He said he had to get adjusted a little bit to Wrigley Field, and once it happened, he was a different player. But
Yeah.
we're human beings. We're not. They're
Yeah.
not robots, so they have
They're
to
not
adjust. They have to make
machines.
the adjustments. So he did talk about it that he struggled a little bit, but then he adjusted. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to some Crawford box shots by Paredes.
I
And it's
know.
always fun to see what numbers they're going to get. That's
Yeah,
something fun to get, right?
but he can crush the ball, man.
I'm
Like,
excited. I mean, I tell these people on Facebook, I'm like, these guys are good.
they're good. Yeah, they're good.
I mean, you think we didn't get anything, but we did
And
really good. I mean,
now for the
usually
pitcher, for think about. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Think about what the Astros have done with their pitchers. They
it's
just make
amazing.
it better. Yeah, the system that the Astros have and the way they go about their pitchers, it's amazing how they, how they uh, perform after they go through the ad system.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot of good pitchers. Last year, we had too many, and we're like, even on the podcast here, we're like, trade a couple and get an outfielder. And we ended up needing all of them. I mean, I don't think Arrighetti was even meant to be called up.
Blanco wasn't even meant to be called up,
Yeah.
but
He did.
Verlander got hurt. I mean, he didn't start the season at
Yeah.
time, so they called up, and then he throws a no hitter first game.
Yeah. Blanco was a guy last year or in 2023 that was one of the guys getting called up and down. Hey, come up and throw for us. Someone's hurt. When I went to the Sugarland game the year before, he was pitching there. And then the next year, he's like, he got snubbed big time in the All-Star game. I mean,
No, he should
that
have
was
been.
that was crazy.
That was bad, I know. But you know
Yeah.
what? In a way, I mean, he got to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's a saying, and we all know this, is that there's not enough pitching. There's never enough pitching in the
Yeah.
team, and
I'm a firm believer in that now, buddy. After last season,
I
you
know
can never have too many.
you can never have too many pitchers, and so yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Like Hunter Brown and Arrighetti both got lit up early in the year, and they were working all year to get that ERA down. So I'd like to see what it is with a fresh start. So I'm looking forward to those guys and Javier and Luis
Garcia,
Garcia probably like mid season.
JP France. Yeah, I don't want to speculate on
AP
that either.
France. Oh my goodness, I forgot about him.
Yeah, so we should, as long as they come back, I mean, we should be fine.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Some of them are gonna be in the bullpen, I guess. All right. What's next? Oh, I was talking about the Rule 5. Um, the Astros took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Normally, they don't see. This is what's weird about this offseason. Normally, they don't do anything, and you have a lot of fans going, "Why don't the Astros do anything?" They see everybody picking up these players, and it's like, we have 3 all-stars in the outfield, 4 all-stars in the infield. Like, there's nobody for us to get. Who do you want us to get? But now we actually have some holes. So it's kind of more like now we get to be other teams and see what it's like to have holes and wish that you could get them filled. But this is weird. Like, they talk about the Astros farm system being really poor, yet you have Arrighetti, Hunter Brown, all these guys no one's ever even heard of come up and do all this great stuff.
But you know
No
what?
one could,
That tells you one thing. That tells you how the Astros system or the Astros scouts and their front office, how they go about their players. You don't
yeah,
have to have a huge party for everyone, but they develop them. How they develop the players, and it's been amazing how they have developed. We've seen players come up, be successful, and so even Corey Jolks, who was very successful when
yeah,
I mean, the Astros, even though in the experts' eyes, they don't see the farm system as full as they would want to, but the Astros produce players from
they
their own,
do.
and they are always, successful.
Yeah, I'd like to see some kind of stat about how many people from the minor leagues reach the majors from each team because we just keep producing.
Oh, the Astros
And
are one of the top. I read, some reports on that, and the Astros are one of the top teams that have
yeah,
their own players from their farm system reach the majors. So the Astros are one of the top teams.
so I guess it's a good thing they undervalue us, so then they won't take our players.
I know,
They're
but
going to be like, man, we could have had that guy. Now look at him. He's the Cy Young winner.
then we still have Pedro Leon down there.
I know. We've been waiting for that guy for 4 years. He was supposed to be the starting center fielder like 3 years ago.
But yeah, so it should be good. We saw what Whitcomb, we saw Dizenzo. So
Yeah.
we took a look at some of the players, but yeah, so we should be fine. The Astros should be fine.
I'm trying to think of his name. Bryce Matthews is someone that's going to be coming soon. That guy's really good.
Yeah, so yes, he's the number 4 prospect right now. So and Melton, remember Jacob Melton? We saw
Jacob
that.
Melton. There, that might be our outfielder I'm looking at.
Yeah. So there's some players out there. There's some good players. And
Yeah.
think about this: who won the AAA championship?
That's exactly what everybody was saying. We don't have good minor league teams, but I mean minor league players, but they win the
So we
championship.
would keep winning championship in the minors. Yes.
Yeah. I had talked to I don't know who I talked to, someone either a minor league coach or someone, but they were saying that they don't really care about wins and losses. They're just developing players, to get to the major leagues. If they win or lose, it's okay, but it's got to feel good to win, even if people say they don't care. They got to care, right?
No, they do. And the thing is, you have to have a winning culture, and it starts in the minors. And you have,
Hmm.
yeah, these players do care. They're. I mean, and I've talked to a few of them who won a championship, like in single A, double A, but
Yeah.
and they do care, of course. Of course, they have to be developed. And sometimes you send the pitcher down just to work on, you know, some kind of pitch or a batter or for defense. But you're playing to win. You're not playing just to play.
Yeah. All right. So we'll use this last a little bit of time. Like, uh, maybe think of like what was your favorite moment of the year? I know there's probably thousands of them, but is there one that stands out?
You know what? The trip to Mexico City,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Against the Rockies, right?
Against the Rockies, and I'll tell you why. Not because I'm from Mexico, but for years and years we've known that Mexico has embraced other teams. But I want to tell you something. It was amazing to fly into Mexico City and to drive and walk through the streets and people wearing orange and blue Astros. Astros orange and blue. I mean, you would expect them, it's a baseball game, Major League Baseball game. They're going to wear their favorite Major League team's outfit.
Yeah.
And their favorite team was the Astros. And the city was and not just because of the people who traveled to Mexico City, but natives from Mexico were wearing Astros colors. And
Nice.
and I had this experience. A friend of my wife, who became very good friends. He took his son to the game. I think his son didn't want to go to the game. And then after the game, we went to eat, and he couldn't stop talking about Altuve and saying this was the best day of my life. Imagine that.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So that was my magical moment.
So at the end of the season, we always do like the the pitcher of the year and the player of the year, and then like someone that surprised you the most. I think my pitcher of the year was Ronel Blanco, and the other guys, I think we were half and half. Some of them picked Framber, and some of them picked Blanco because I don't think we would even have been where we were, even when we were 17 and 30 or whatever it was. It would have been even worse without Blanco.
No, those are two great picks, of course. I mean, Ronel Blanco was just amazing. I think Ronel Blanco, his maturity helped him a lot. He was ready. It's like, when you're in that mound with about 40,000 people around you and playing Major League Baseball game, just think about how you would feel.
Yeah,
And and his maturity level was up there, and so he pitched according to it. And like I said, the Astros system in developing pitchers is just excellent. So you
yeah,
combine all that stuff, and look what he did in his first game. And
yeah.
that was actually the first win for Joey Spada too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It took a little bit. Juan Soto single-handedly made the Astros 0-4 to start the year. That was horrible.
Yeah, but yeah, we finished out good. I mean, the
Yeah,
season, winning the division again. Yeah,
and I think I picked Jordan Alvarez as the offensive guy of the year.
yeah, you can't miss it with
Y-
Alvarez.
Yeah, and then my coach Rose, which is the someone that surprised you, that overachieved. I believe I picked Arrighetti.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, he was. You know what? On one of the games that he was taken out, Arrighetti was. I mean, he made some gestures of like, you know, that told me that, man, this guy's a warrior. This
yeah,
guy, this guy wants to be out there. He wants to win. So that's one of the things that amazed me about Arrighetti. That he wants to pitch. He wants to do good. You
yeah,
know. So
and also Hunter Brown. This dude, I remember when we had JV, when he was JV, the Cy Young winner, because JV was good when we first got him. And Hunter Brown got so good that it felt like Hunter Brown's pitching today, we're going to win. That's how good he was.
yes, yes, and we should hopefully have the same version of that. Hunter Brown. He's a great person too. He's always available to talk, and it's neat talking to
Yeah.
Hunter Brown. But he should be up there. He should be a catalyst for the Astros. Like I said, Fromber, him, 1-2 punch. You know,
Yeah.
you can ask for anything better, huh?
Yeah. All right. So I don't know how long ago, you did recently started a podcast.
Yes, we have one called Beyond the Mic. So it's a podcast depending on the guest. We do it in Spanish or English, and
Hmm.
so we just started doing one, and so it's gone very well, and so it enjoying it, talking
Yeah.
to people that I've known, that just letting. And the reason I did it is because I've met so many people in this journey, very interesting people, that I want to expose them. I want my followers to know who they are, what they do, and enjoy the heck out of them. Huh?
Yeah. I saw the one where you had the one that reached the Hall of Fame, the Spanish broadcaster.
Oh, Rene Carnos
Yeah.
with
And then you
with
had a
Mike.
comedian. You had the comedian on there too.
Oh
I saw
yes,
that.
I had yes. See, it's not just sports people.
Yeah.
It's Joey Medina from Latin Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
And he grew up in New York, but then he uh, he was a boxer in Tucson, Arizona. That's how I met him. Then he
Mm.
went into media, and then he ultimately ended up as a comedian. Yeah, as a stand-up comedian. That was pretty
What
funny.
else you got going on?
Well, this that and the off season, like you said, it gave me almost an extra month of freedom. Got to go to Mexico to a wedding. That was pretty
Dang.
cool. And
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have done that, but it's still doing a little bit with the Arizona Athletics and doing some stuff with their social media. But getting ready for the season, it's exciting. The Astros should be good. It's I miss it already, and so it should be another great season.
Yeah.
And so that's about it. Just uh, doing some, creating some content for my own social media also,
Yeah.
and working on the podcast.
Yeah. It's a I enjoy the off season because I like bringing people on that I know. It's fun to talk to people. I also have lined up. I don't know if you know Jimmy Price. He does the Astros future.
Ah,
He'll
okay,
be coming on soon. He knows so much about these guys coming up, folks. So we'll be able to share that if you wondering who's going to make an impact, and also the legend sometime in January, Bob Ford
how about Ford? It's
coming
great.
on. He's awesome. You should get him on yours because he's awesome.
No, I should. I like his stories from when he was
Yeah.
DJ and
Yeah.
Galveston. So I should get him on. You're absolutely right. I should
My
get.
face was hurting from smiling when I had him on, but we didn't do the video before. But
Oh, it's true. You only did the audio, huh?
yeah, we used to only do the audio. But man, that guy's funny.
No,
He
yeah,
told the
Bob.
story about them messing with him about a Ticonderoga pencil, and they said that it was he was saying it, and they told him, "Hey, did Bobby Dynamite?" he told him, "Did you know that that's like a negative thing to say about Native Americans?" And he's like, "Oh man, why didn't you tell me?" And they let it go the whole game. Then he finally found out that they were messing with him.
Yeah.
Ticonderoga. You'll hear about that again, folks. Well, Francisco, what was it? Frank Rose, right? When you were a kid playing
Oh,
baseball?
I used to like Pete Rose when I was
Yeah,
5 years old, man. I used to
yeah.
remember playing in the gals in our front yard, huge front yard.
Should have
You
tried harder. You'd have made 750 million.
can you imagine that?
All right, Francisco, I appreciate you taking some time out of your weekend to come on the show, and it's fun as always to talk to you, pal.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Rob, and hopefully we'll see you at minute. Well, it's going to be a Dakin Park now, starting in
Oh
January.
yeah, I didn't go last year to one game.
Really?
Yeah,
And then
because we got
Fest,
a new house and we wanted to use our money to buy stuff for the house, so we didn't go.
it's beautiful. The tree is beautiful there, man.
Oh
So
yeah,
congratulations.
where's it at? Over here? My
Yeah,
wife.
it's
Look,
right there.
she's a master decorator.
Oh wow.
It's really
Well,
awesome.
it looks good. Well, thank you again for inviting
Yeah,
me. Anytime. All
I
righty.
appreciate it. All right,
Okay.
guys, for Francisco, I've been your host, Rob Fontenot, and we'll see you next time on Astros Baseball.